Bum, 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 bum,
Maybe
you're there. Marcy's joining us, and I'm trying to go live on Instagram. Trying to go live. Oh, here we go. Trying to go live. Oh, I'm gonna sit down. All right. Yay! What's up, everybody? Marcy made it like at the last second.
Yay.
Marcy.
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 no.
Can Marcy? Can Marcy hear us?
No.
Marcy,
We can hear you.
talk, Marcy. Say something, Marcy.
She can't hear us.
Oh,
It's so great. So great.
No sound. Really, just say something. Here, I'll try. So anyway, welcome everybody to Crossing the Streams.
Woo.
Oh, we can't. She's. Well,
You have to change your headphones.
yeah, your settings just aren't right. Just Zach, I don't know, Zach. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our vast audience. Yes, it's Crossing the Streams where we answer the universal question: what should I binge next? I just watched something, and now I gotta watch something else. Oh, and here we are to answer all those questions for you. Between the four of us, or at least the three of us that have sound, over 10,000 hours of binge watching experience across 4 continents. So we're here to bring it. So Marcy is muted. Let me see if I can unmute you. I don't know why you're muted. It says I can't unmute you because you have muted yourself. Marcy's just swearing up a storm right now. And while she's figuring that out, let's all talk about something else. Did you guys see the Gladiator 2?
Yes.
Thing? What is that movie about? Denzel Washington taking over the Roman Empire? Because that's all I got from it. It seemed like he was scheming the whole time. Is that what it was? And then Pedro Pascal, who looks the same in everything he does now. It's that mustache. He's got to get rid of the mustache every now and then. It looks. I mean, I love him. I think he's the best. Don't get me wrong, but
he's got a thing going on. He's got to keep that. He's got to keep that dad vibe.
Yeah.
Marcy hates it though. She absolutely hates Pedro Pascal. Thinks he's ugly as sin.
Oh, yeah, Marcy. Hey, Mark is on Instagram.
Am I here?
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. Mark's on Instagram. Howard Rosner is on Instagram. Says Marcy looks like she just got flashed with a little light by Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know.
Oh my God, I think I'm here.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you were here. Yo, we hear you.
She had to hack the internet.
I just became my own IT person. That's scary.
You did it. You did it. Let's see here. We got to get Mark. Mark, you got to join us on the show one of these days. Ping me later. So what is up, everybody? Okay, so we had Gladiator 2. I don't remember. What else? Was there another big one that came out? Like a big...
The Harkness trailer came out. Agatha.
Agatha. Oh, you know what? So I'm watching the Agatha All Along trailer, and I'm thinking to myself, ooh, they're going to make this a detective show. I'm in.
Immediately no.
Immediately, nope, that's not happening. And then I was like, all right. Patty LaPone is in that. There's some classics in there. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. And it's not that I'm just not excited for it, but that's because a lot of Marvel that's been coming out.
Yeah.
So that's what sucks about it,
Say hi to Lee. What's up,
Hi,
Lee?
Lee.
Say hi to Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, old Jerry.
I'm gonna do it like Rick from Rick and Morty. Is like Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Wait. What show? Wait. I just blanked on what movie we were just talking about. Would you just bring up, Zach?
The Agatha.
Oh, Agatha. I love that actress so much. I can watch her do anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Over and over. Yeah.
She is like one of the main reasons I'm probably going to watch that show. I just really like her and Aubrey Plaza and Patty LaPone. Yeah, I mean,
I love Aubrey Plaza. What are you talking about?
Agatha All Along. It's like the whole witches thing, and then at the end they probably find Wanda in some state to bring her back into the MCU.
Aubrey Plaza is unbelievable.
Yep.
She's the best.
She's the best.
And it's the same character from White Lotus.
Oh, is it?
Cool.
Yeah.
Shut up. So it's my kid is home from college, so he watches a lot more TV than me. So he's always watching Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And I know Jeff, you were watching. Did you finish it?
Not only did I watch the whole thing, and then I had Jim O'Hare on the show.
Nice.
Gary, and then we talked. We just talked Parks and Rec the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, so it's on a lot in my house as I'm like kind of walking by, and I just love her. She is just so great.
Yeah.
The thing with Parks and Rec, as a quick side note, is that even they say that it's better to start at season 2 and then go back to season 1, because season 1 is a difficult watch, but you got to watch it because there is some iconic things that take place in season 1, but it's a hard 6 episodes. And and then he told me why. He's like, they just filmed them all and they didn't have time to pivot and get feedback because they just filmed all 6 episodes and then kind of had them all in the can.
I think White Lotus is the same thing. You should start with season 2.
Season 1 was good. Season 1 had Sydney Sweeney.
It was okay.
Yeah,
that's true, but she didn't have a great role. It wasn't like an Aubrey Plaza role. Like,
oh yeah.
It's not her best role, Sydney Sweeney.
Because
I'm a huge Sydney Sweeney fan.
Madam Web was
Parks and Rec. Before Parks and Rec came out, I could not stand Amy Poehler. I couldn't stand her voice. I didn't like watching anything she was in. After I got into Parks and Rec, I went back and rewatched everything and like whole new.
You know what? A friend of mine, Will Arnett, felt the same way.
Boo.
I love Amy Poehler. I think Amy.
I know.
Poehler
I love Amy Poehler too.
No, yeah.
It's really
I remember catching Amy Poehler like when she was super young, before SNL, like on when she was on like Upright Citizens Brigade, and I was like, this person has so much weird energy. And then they became SNL. Then they got blown up on Parks and Rec. But so I've been watching Amy Poehler like my whole life.
That's crazy. I mean, of course, I was introduced to her like most through SNL. I didn't even know she had anything before that. Was she in Second City, or was she a Second City like Tina Fey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weren't
they, then they did Uprights.
They were Uprights, Citizens Brigade. I mean, they're both amazing individuals as well, powerhouses. But when you put her with Tina Fey together, that's an unbelievable duo. So
I don't know. I've seen Baby Mama.
It's funny. I like Baby Mama.
Well, Baby Mama aside, I mean, just even like at the Golden Globes or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, that's like saying Will Ferrell's not funny because of Sherlock and Holmes. Like that doesn't really count.
Right. That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
I guess it was the 20th, whatever anniversary, maybe 20th of Anchorman yesterday. Or something. I wish I had. I went as Anchorman once for Halloween. All of us at with the place I worked, each of us went as a character, and then we took pictures of ourselves, and I remade the poster with us. I had the Ron Burgundy suit and like the mustache and everything. It was great. I
haven't been here in a few weeks. Did you talk about how Ron Burgundy came out at the Tom Brady roast? Did he come? Was that where I saw him?
He was there. He did come out.
He was there. He did come out. Yeah, that's right.
I guess that was a Tom Brady request.
Oh, he requested that.
That's what I heard.
That's interesting.
Okay. Did we talk about the Tom Brady roast? I mean, Nikki. I mean, it was one of those moments where Nikki Glazer just destroyed. I mean,
that's the first time I liked Nikki Glazer. I actually love Nikki Glazer now because of that roast, and I actually didn't like her before. Now I'm a huge fan, and I will stop at any reel or video that is on my phone. I'm like, okay, I'm interested in whatever joke you're about to tell, because you made me laugh so hard at the Tom Brady roast.
So you got to start watching F-Boy Island then.
What is it?
F-Boy Island.
What is that? Is that a movie?
It's terrible.
I think it's a show.
It's a terrible reality show where it's just a bunch of F-boys and they're just trying to find love too.
Well, they deserve love. Don't act like they don't.
Write that down.
Don't act like they don't deserve love.
Yeah, all of you guys deserve love. Yeah.
Listen, I apologize in advance. I might have taken a little too many gummies.
You say that now at the beginning of every show.
And I always do.
At some point, it no longer becomes an accident.
I wanted to have such a buzz. I just got home, and then nothing worked. My company had my computer for a while, and they wiped everything out. So I have nothing. I had to reset my Facebook password just to be here.
It rained. I don't know
I
where.
had no time for gummies.
I don't know where it was where you were, Marcy, but it rained so hard last night. And at 5 a.m, all we heard was boom, boom, which was the transformer just blowing out at 5:30 in the morning. So we lost power. I didn't have power till like 2:30. And it's one of those annoying things where they're like, your power will be on at 9:15. Oh, I mean, we meant 1:15. We meant we don't know. You know what I mean? Like one of those. And the whole time you're thinking, and of course the power went out because we did a full shopping thing yesterday. It's always when we buy a lot of food, the next day the power goes out. I know what you're saying.
I can't believe you don't have a generator. How do you not have a generator?
What?
You're such a successful interviewer. How do
I never felt it was worth to spend $13,000 for the 3 hours that my power would be out. That I could just survive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it looks like you made it. You made it.
Tesla home battery things, the solar panel ones.
Right. Yeah. You can run your car, you run your house off your F-150 hybrid.
So, all right, let's get to some of the shows. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. Let's do it. This is last week, episode 153. We talked about a case study of Vanitas, which was an anime show. We talked about Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3, a little retrospective. We're going to bookend that today. We talked about remembering Gene Wilder, and we talked about Boondock Saints.
Wait. Who talked about Boondock Saints?
Spider Dan, a new guy for the show, a new guest.
Did they like it?
I think I remember them liking at least the first one. Yeah.
Oof.
Well, thankfully, I'll remind Zack and the rest of our viewers. Well, I think he said it was problematic, but I think at the time he liked that. But it recognizes in today's eyes, it may be different. But I will remind Zack and the rest of our viewing audience that on YouTube, we have 153 streaming hours that you can just go watch and answer all of the questions of whether he liked it or not. This is episode 154. We'll be talking about Scavengers Reign, Back to Black, Maxxxine, and Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. That's right. The book.
Nice.
All right. While the gummies are still in play, let's jump right to Maxxxine.
All right. Man, I would not expect him to be up first. Okay. So Maxxxine is I'm just going to talk about this movie in particular because it is part of a trilogy, and I just reviewed it last night, the whole trilogy together. So go check that out for that in depth.
What other movies is this part of?
This is the third in the in Ty West's. I've been calling it the X trilogy, where it started with X, then it was Pearl, and now it's Maxxxine. It's fantastic. It absolutely, and I'm talking about Maxxxine now. Like Maxxxine was fantastic. I absolutely enjoyed this. This was a really killer horror movie. I know, no pun intended, but but it was such a great slasher send up to the 80s and more. Like there's just so much about this that was a love letter to not just the 80s, not just Hollywood, not just the hard genre, but horror fans. It's like Ty West was like, "Oh, I see you, horror fans. Like this, here's some nods to you that, and it was really well done. Mia Goth and her every character she's played, Maxxxine, Pearl, but the way she's played them in the different points in their life, all culminating into this was wonderful. It is not my favorite in the trilogy. You have to go check out my podcast for that. But it was I rank this really high. I absolutely love this. I think people should go check it out in theaters.
Okay. So it's Pearl and then X, and it's the same character that carries through to all three of these. I suggest everybody watch them. They came out. X came out first, which takes place in the 70s, 1978 or 79, and then Pearl takes place
at like the end of World War One. Right before the 20s, like just getting into it, 1919, I think. And then this one takes place in 1985. It all intersects in a way that's culminates in X. So like I don't want to give anything away to anybody who hasn't seen them. So I just say go check those out, and I'd watch them in order personally, because I think if you watch Pearl first and you get a feel for her character, when you get to X and you see what happens to her character, I feel it's more heartbreaking, and you're also cheering at the same time in a weird way for these two different characters, and it carries over into Maxxxine really well. This was a great closeout to the series.
So Maxxxine, this movie, so the 3 X's has 2 meanings. One is that she's an adult film star in the movie, but also it's the 3rd in this trilogy. So am I reading into that right? Or
I mean, you could, yeah. It's more about the that she is a porn star trying to break into mainstream in 1985, which was a hard feat, and she gets a job in a horror movie, and it's like her big break to get into it. It's a sequel to a popular horror movie that just came out, and so she's trying to maneuver around that and doing this big role, while her past from the previous 2 movies is catching up to her and everything that happened, and other elements are as well. Plus, the Night Stalker is running around killing off women, so she has to deal with that as well. So,
the real Night Stalker from the Los Angeles person that killed people. Okay,
yeah, and Kevin Bacon is also in this. He plays a very sleazy private investigator. Great role, and it was so great to see him have 2 movies that came out where he plays like sleazy characters, but in 2 very different ways. But he nailed it with this one. He's such a great job in this.
All right. Very cool. Zack, have you seen any of the Maxxxine trilogy?
No, I wasn't sure which one was first, and I think that because of that, I just didn't catch one of the 2. And then when this came out, I was like, okay, I definitely need to watch these. And you're just saying, Mick, that you should just watch these in like release order. That's like the best way to view these 3.
I think chronological order, personally. Release order was X and then Pearl in the same year, but X coming out first, and now Maxxxine to close it out. But I just think I think you get a feel for every character a little bit deeper if you watch it chronologically. So to me, I can't wait to watch these all back to back in chronological order. So,
well, what order do you watch the Star Wars movies in?
Oh, I always start with 4, 5, 6.
Really?
Yeah, I'm always that's the Holy Trilogy to me. I love it. Maybe I'll throw on Rogue One first because it's so good. It just really leads into it well. But then I'll go back and watch. I'll still watch the prequels. I don't mind them.
They're horrible. I haven't even watched the Acolyte. I haven't even watched the Acolyte. All right. Well,
I watched a breakdown of that.
I watched it. I like it.
Okay.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I'll wait till it's all done. I've been watching The Boys though, and I just finished The Bear, so I think we need to wait on. But so anywho,
man.
What was it?
That season, man.
All right, we'll talk later. We'll do it next week. We'll do a full thing, give people more a chance to watch it. Yeah. Okay, let's all right, hang on. I'm actually trying to push buttons and nothing's working, but there we go.
Look at that. Who watched that? Who watched that great movie?
I think hang on one second, Marcy. Everything's slow today.
Thank you, Lee.
All right. Marcy, let's talk Back in Black. She asked me if she could do this one. So my answer was, it was a great answer, wasn't it? She was like, "Can I do Back to Black?" And I'm like, "No."
Hold on. It was not. It was actually such a great answer that I did read that to somebody, and I was like, "Oh, he just said no." I did find it funny. Oh God, I loved this movie. It's on Peacock. It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes. 2 hours? No, it's over 2 hours. I am not a huge fan, but I am now. And I wanted to be more prepared. There was one thing I wanted to look up. I'm pretty sure that this girl, Marissa Abella, who plays Amy Winehouse, I think she's lip syncing and they are using Amy Winehouse's voice. I didn't look it up. I've been so busy.
Whoa.
But it really seems like in this movie that they're using Amy Winehouse's real voice. So thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Someone just brought me a glass of wine. So
Nice.
it's on, cheers. It's on Peacock right now. And I do believe that it's going to be moved to Amazon Prime, which I am finding the commercials on Amazon Prime to be out of control. I have no interest. I will do shopping on Amazon Prime. I have no interest in watching TV there. But Peacock right now, this girl, Marissa Abella, does such a fantastic job playing Amy Winehouse. I hope she's at least nominated for something, and I would love to see her win. I met Amy Winehouse during the Emmys. I was watching, not the Emmys, the Grammys. I was watching the Grammys, and I watched her sing live from London and win the award. She won Best Album. I didn't know who she was. And then she performed with her band and her backup singers, and it was fantastic. So I'm not going to say that this movie is really, honestly, the way things happen. You know, when you do a biographical movie like this, there's so many people that come out and say, no, that's not really how it happened. That's not, you know, we're talking about a 27-year-old woman who had addictions. She had demons. She died at 27. And she was a fantastic entertainer. She had the most beautiful voice. It's heartbreaking. It's not a happy ending. I'm still so sad after seeing this, but I don't know if this is exactly how her life went, the way that they portray it, but it's a good movie. It's a great movie. Fact or fiction, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it very, very much, and I will watch it again. I've been listening to Back to Black, the album in my car a lot. I've been listening to on Spotify. This is Amy Winehouse. I've never listened to her so much in my life, but this movie, it really spoke to me. The acting was fantastic. Her dad, Eddie Marson, I believe, was in Ray Donovan. He was the brother, right? One of the brothers in Ray Donovan.
Okay, that's cool.
He plays her father. I didn't realize what a fabulous relationship that she had with her grandmother, and that was a big part of her life. You know, Amy Winehouse was in love with the wrong guy, although she already had problems. I can't blame him. He had problems. She had problems. If you listen to the song Back to Black, there's a line that says, "You like blow and I like puff." Well, I'm kind of like, okay, he likes cocaine and she likes marijuana, but he likes cocaine and she likes heroin. I mean, she was not a healthy person. But I highly recommend you watch this. It is a very good movie, and like I said, it's not a happy ending. We all know what happened to Amy Winehouse. She leaves us way too soon. It's so sad. I feel so bad for her family after I kind of feel like I got to know her in this movie, but I think that it was well done. 2 hours sometimes is a little bit too long for me. I felt that this was fine. And you know, using Amy Winehouse has got a freaking amazing voice. I mean, I don't care what you say, you might not like her. Her voice is just unbelievable. It's so different, and it's just I don't know. I loved it. I can't wait to see it again. And you don't have to go to the theater to see it. So watch it, enjoy it, and grab some tissues, because we all know she's gonna die at the end. She dies at the end.
It's a spoiler.
Jesus, if you love her so much,
Spoiler
you can marry her.
I love it. So I
Marcy,
yeah.
I looked up on our IMDb. Marissa Abela did the singing. Had done most of the singing in the film herself. She trained extensively to mimic Amy Winehouse's vocals.
Amazing. Wow. That's amazing. Oh, she's gonna win. This girl's got such a career ahead of her. I hope she lives to at least 29.
Didn't Val Kilmer? He did the same thing with Jim Morrison. And
yeah, but to sing like Jim Morrison is not to sing. I mean, no offense to Jim. I mean, I love the Doors and all. I mean, I love the Doors, but Amy Winehouse's voice.
Yeah, I wasn't comparing. I was just kind of
that's
taking
great.
notes.
She really trained. Thank you for looking that up. That's why it's your show. Like, good. I love that.
27 is also like the age. Like that's like a, Jim Morrison. I just like
Chris Farley. Who else?
Cobain, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, a lot more. It doesn't have. It didn't. I don't know.
James Dean.
Was he? Okay, he's not on this list. But
or is it maybe that's 23?
Wasn't I thought it was Chris Farley?
Yeah, I said Chris Farley. Yeah.
He's not on this list, but it's very possible.
No, it's definitely a lot. Just
a lot.
It is a lot.
So many.
I don't know how I live past 27. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Marcy.
Thank you. But anyway, seriously though, it is very entertaining. I can't even believe you just told me. Like, I really thought she was lip syncing. She nails it.
I'm gonna check that out. I tell you what, I don't know how you guys feel about Bohemian Rhapsody, but
I loved it.
Yuck.
I loved it.
No,
I loved it the first time I saw it in the theater, and then tried to rewatch it and found it like painfully.
I only saw it in the theater once, and I was reclined, and I was very high, and it was a really fun night.
I have a rule on the Scene Snobs. If you say something sucks, you got to give something in its place. And my recommendation over that is Rocket Man.
Rocket Man was great too.
Yeah.
I never saw that. I never saw that one. All right. Well, I guess I said it sucked too, so I guess I'll have to give a replacement. Star Wars.
Yeah, I also said it sucked. I'm gonna say The Wiz.
The Wiz.
I'm going to see The Wiz live.
Oh, I love The Wiz.
Nice.
I think the problem I had mostly with Bohemian Rhapsody is if you rewatch it feels like they're so. Forget the fact that they made their own movie and still messed up all the facts, but conveniently changed them. It just the whole movie there's a self-awareness that just makes it seem so obnoxious.
It's awful. Yeah,
it's horrible. It really is. All right, let's see. Let's do. I'm interested in hearing this. Always interested in anything Zack covers. Scavengers Reign on Max. It looks like.
Yeah, so this is actually on Max and Netflix now. It started out on Max. It actually started 7 years ago when you had these two guys, Joe Bennett and Charles Huntner, and they put out a little short called Scavengers, and they put that out on Adult Swim. And people just kind of ate it up, like the creativity they put into this little thing, and just so much kind of emotion that they got out of just one little like mini movie. That they end up putting together a 12-episode full series arc. It's called Scavengers Reign. Came out on Max. It is also now on Netflix. Now, I found it on Netflix because I was watching Blue Eye Samurai, and it was like, you should watch this next. And I was like, I have no idea what this is. And I let like the little Netflix thing run for a little bit, and I was like, wow, this art is fantastic. Let me tell you, Scavengers Reign is a masterpiece. There is something unbelievable about this show. Like I watch so much stuff. I watch so many movies. I watch so many series, and a lot of them just kind of wash over me. I'm like, oh yeah, I picked out this and this. This show changed me as a human being. There's something is so impressive about how the creative team works. Where, when you watch movies like, Alien or even like the first Terminator, you're getting like the sci-fi and that's like a horror element. And then you watch other things like Star Wars and you're getting like the fantasy element. But as far as adult animation goes, this bit of sci-fi is some of the most ingenious that I've ever seen. The creativity that is put into just the fauna of this planet. Now, the whole thing works around, there's a ship called the Demeter. And the Demeter, and when you start the show, you're actually starting it kind of in media res. Like these people have just been on this planet for a while. And you find out through the episodes that, the Demeter is their ship, and it's just been messed up in space. So they all had to come down to this planet. And when you pick up with the crew, they've been there for it seems like years. Like they know everything about how all of it works. And a lot of times you'll get to like a movie or something and they go to a new planet and there's a lot of like, oh, what's this thing do? And then they look at it and then they try to figure out what everything does. Well, these people know what everything does and they know how to utilize all parts of it. And to put a show together that is based kind of around these people that are struggling to get together, but have the show really about connections and how even like something like a robot can connect to like a human and how their emotions work and what it actually means to be like alive and living. And I fell in love with this show. I only really wanted to watch one episode before I went to work. I ended up calling work and telling them to be like an hour late. I had to watch 2 episodes and then I came back home that night and I watched the full series again. And it's an amazing accomplishment what these 2 guys did. It stars Sunita Mani, who you might know from I believe that they were in they've been in a bunch of stuff, so I just kind of blank. They were in like A Good Place, but you might know them more from Mr. Robot. It also stars Wunmi Musaka, who is they were in Lovecraft Country, and now they're more recently on the Loki show. And yeah, it's just created by these 2 guys. You have 12 episodes that are between 23 and 26 minutes. But one thing that really stood out to me, just to kind of like describe how these creatures work, right? So you see like all these herds of these weird animals, and they walk past like this vine, and this vine kind of stabs one of them. And it uses the DNA to kind of make like another one of these creatures, but kind of out of like plants, really. And then that creature quickly gets born kind of, and then it finds those animals and it's kind of like based on, and then this thing just blows up and it kills them all to create more and more stuff. True. Yeah, I'm probably in trouble with my job because I cannot stop watching Scavengers Reign. And then I get to work and I start talking about Scavengers Reign and they're like, no, seriously, Zach, just start cooking. But no, I cannot explain enough. Please watch the show. It did something really, really cool to me as a person who enjoys content and who enjoys getting emotion and getting feeling out of it. One of the characters that I just absolutely fell in love with is this robot named Levi. And it's just basically a robot that's supposed to help these people do its thing. Well, it lost like a part, it lost like an arm. And when they went to put the arm back, like this vine kind of grew into it. So now there's like this part organic inside this robot. And now this robot, for some reason, just kind of starts humming. And it doesn't know why it's humming. It's just like trying to figure out what its purpose is and how to just enjoy existence. Yeah, I don't want to give a lot of this away. It is adult when it comes to like meaning and thought and like subtext. It's not adult as far as like really violence or there's no sex or anything like that. So it's not like that kind of R-rated. It's just like this is a deep, thoughtful journey that these people take. And yeah, I would really like to talk about this with anybody. So if you see this, please text me or send me a message because I am just in love with the show. I think it is absolutely the best adult animation that I've seen in probably the last 10 years. I'll say it might be the best science fiction show I've seen in the past at least 7 years. Like this thing just blew me away completely. And out of everything I've ever talked about on the show, I like this the most, without a doubt.
So, not to spoiler or anything, but I know why the character hums.
Yeah. Why?
It doesn't know the words. Hey!
I'm out of here. Figure out which one of these computers logs out.
Oh my God.
Good job, Jeff.
Ha-cha-cha.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, he knows.
Yeah, I was curious too. I'm like, oh wow, I kind of know, but
the worst part was waiting to
like,
say it.
Why does Jeff know and Zach doesn't know?
Got me.
Wow. I know.
Got me.
Oh my goodness.
Excellent review, Zach, as always.
Thank you.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, you really highly recommend that.
I it has been a long time since I consumed media. You know, like when I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, like I broke as a person, and I was like, oh my god, I got to talk to my daughter more. I got to figure out my own life. When I watched The Iron Claw, I broke again, and I was like, I got to call my dad. I got to make sure my family's good. So it's very rare, honestly, when something affects me enough to think about it longer after I've seen it, but then really start questioning like my place in this world and what I think things are for and how I'm using the things around me versus how they're using me. And yeah, this thing stuck with
and
me.
It's on Max. It's
on Max and Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
Max,
honestly, if you put it on Netflix and just watch that little, like when the thing just starts playing and you look at that, you're like, oh my God, I've never seen art like this. Like, wait, what is this? Like, it's so detail oriented. It's so like when you look at it, you just want to pause every single shot and be like, I gotta look at this because there's just so much going on. And yeah, this is a special one. And I could not push this harder.
Have you seen Fallout, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like the first science fiction show that I've ever really gotten into and absolutely loved.
Yeah,
and,
Fallout's fun.
It is fun. And so so I'm like kind of intrigued in this being science fiction. I'm like, I just finished a great science fiction show and I need another one. And I might have to try this.
You're not going to get a lot of laughs or a lot of giggles out of this. These are people that are stuck on a planet and they're not supposed to be there. And nothing.
I wasn't
on the planet
expecting all the laughs from
this
Fallout.
Is the Alpha 6.
Okay.
No, I like it. Check it out.
Right.
Check it out.
Cool.
Check it out.
All right. I am.
Check it out.
All right. Let's check it out. All right.
Check it out.
Another movie, and this movie did change my life as well, just like Zach's movies changed his life. This is Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, a Netflix exclusive. I do want to point out one thing real quick. Can you see my shirt?
Yep, you're wearing the Mumford shirt.
That's
that's a shirt he wore in the first
one.
OG.
Yep, my mom went there. Mumford. That's he wears a WB something. He wears a radio station shirt and a Lions jacket in this one. But
does that mean that was your mom's shirt?
No, I bought it. It's
your mom
it was not my mom's shirt. So
like your mom shirt, dude.
So if I may take us back in time to 1984, when the biggest comedy ever released, Beverly Hills Cop, if adjusted today, would have made $600 million. And then they made Beverly Hills Cop 2, and they made Beverly Hills Cop 3, which made for a good joke in Beverly Hills Cop 4, making fun of Beverly Hills Cop 3. Now, I will say just a little backstory. At one point, I think Beverly Hills Cop was going to be turned into a TV show. I'd read that at one point. I think Brendan Jackson was going to be like Axel's son, maybe, or something. And there was going to be a little tie-in, and that never happened. And this
the pilot is out there.
I watched it.
Oh, is there a pilot? Okay.
Yeah.
And then there was this movie has been kind of languishing for years. Axel F, the name of this movie, because usually this one breaks. It was Beverly Hills Cop 2, Beverly Hills Cop 3, and then this one, instead of going with Beverly Hills Cop 4, broke completely from that dynamic and went with Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, which is the name of the song, which is the greatest thing ever, which they bring back. So Axel F, Axel Foley, but Axel F specifically was the name of that music from the first one. I will say, so I really enjoyed Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Am I saying it's the best movie ever made? Am I saying there wasn't problems? No, I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying as the fourth movie in a series where they brought this thing back, I thought they knocked it out of the park, and it was 1,000. My wife keeps going, I can't believe how much better that was than I thought it was going to be. Now, I have seen people rail against this movie online. I don't know what movie they were watching. I don't know what movie they thought they were about to see. I really have no idea. I can get not liking something, but I can't see how this movie would have evoked such negative reactions from somebody. It was enjoyable to revisit all of these characters. Most of the characters came from the first movie, right? So you got Eddie Murphy, of course. You got Judge Reinhold's back. John Ashton's back. Paul Reiser is back. Bronson Pinchot is back. And then they layer in a bunch of
that's amazing.
Yeah. Ronnie Cox did not come back, but he wasn't in 3, and I don't even think he wanted to do 2. If you need that whole story, just listen to episode 100 of Classic Conversations, where I talked to Ronnie all about it. Anyway, that was smooth. That was smooth, wasn't it?
Did you just plug yourself?
I did. So I will. I mean, I can say there. I can see like if. Okay, so introducing to this is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's always great. Taylor Page, who plays Axel Foley's daughter, and you got Kevin Bacon. So
Kevin Bacon's in it.
Kevin Bacon is in this movie as well.
I didn't get that excitement when Kevin Bacon was in my movie.
Yeah, that's two Kevin Bacon movies. This is like a whole Kevin Bacon themed night.
All right, I'm just gonna come clean and just say, like, I literally have plans to watch this movie tonight. I'm so glad you're talking about it. So as soon as this is over, I have a date.
So just like any movie that takes place in Detroit, it's fun to watch. So there's a whole scene in the very beginning where he goes to a Red Wings game. He's in Little Caesars Arena. I'm recognizing he's driving around. And there's Lafayette, Coney Island. And so there's definitely they did some filming in Detroit. And so that part was fun. And the whole time I'm thinking, I go, I can't believe they didn't release this in the theater. That's why I'm like so crazy. I don't understand the people who are so anti this movie. I was like, this should have been like a Maverick. This should have been in the theaters. Maybe wouldn't have been as good as that or done as well, but it would have held its own, I think. I mean, this was Eddie Murphy in top form. The disappointment of Coming to America 2. This is not anything like that.
And what are you talking about? That was the greatest sequel before this.
Okay. And then now I could see where somebody might go, oh, they got lazy and they just threw in every good song from every other soundtrack into this one. So this is built for nostalgia, and it's just built to have a good time, but it's also very good. I mean, some of the scenes in the beginning where he's just crashing through Detroit, chasing and just destroying the city, I thought were unbelievable. There's a lot of great scenes. So
you got to do the Neutron Dance.
There's
Neutron Dance is in this as well. I mean, they got the Heat Is On. They got
such a great soundtrack.
Bob Seger one is in this one as well. So it's got everything, and it's got. Did I say Paul Reiser? Paul Reiser too.
You did say Paul Reiser.
So, so of course, Axel Foley gets taken. His daughter is living in Beverly Hills. Okay, so his daughter is threatened, and
does he have a daughter with the woman from the art gallery?
I don't. No. He's divorced in this, and he's a little estranged from his daughter. That's a little bit of the theme of this movie, which is connect. Live your life. Don't get caught up in the job.
None of it makes sense. I'm sorry. There's I love the movie, but the
he's a hater.
No. I've watched it twice. I like it.
Okay.
I'm going to
good.
Good. It has the same problems with it that Back to the Future has with that, but I can forgive it because I have fun with it.
What problems does the movie Back to the Future have?
Yeah,
there are plot.
Here we go.
So plot issues.
That's my favorite movie of all time, and I can admit that.
I just rewatched Back to the Future 2 and 3, and I'm going to go on record saying I think 3 might be better than 2. I think 2 is a train wreck. Yeah, anyway,
really?
Well, it's a fun bridge. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So he ends up going to Beverly Hills again. But this is 30 years later, so you can't say, oh, it just happened again. I believe this takes place like 30 years after the third movie, after the horrible third movie. So there is callbacks to even Shrek and the other movies. There's lots of, I think, great stuff. Now, what's wrong?
He screws up his math in it because at one point, when the Lego cops come out, he's like, I've been a cop for 30 years. And I'm like, dude, the first movie came out 40 years ago. And you were a detective. I don't know if that was something. I don't know if that was dialogue lifted from the TV show.
So if I were to say what is wrong with this movie, everything conveniently moves along, right? I mean, there's like it's 2 hours, and there's nothing that holds this movie back or has that ticking time clock that you have any worry that they're going to get through. Kevin Bacon's character, the second he's on screen, you know he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
when they reveal it like 5 minutes later or whatever, you're like, you didn't. Of course he's the bad guy. Of course this is happening. I mean, it was just like it was. I don't think you could have telegraphed anything. They might as well just put it on a caption and then the arrow pointing to Kevin Bacon. That's how like obvious it was. So like things like that. But you know what? If you can get, but I didn't hate it. I didn't hate them for it. It's just, you know, it was just like, okay, you know, whatever. Sometimes in the 80s, we knew who the villains. Yeah, in the 80s, we knew who the villain was, right? So, I think John Ashton was looking a little worn, but I think he is older. I don't think they had enough Judge Reinhold in the movie. I think it could have used more Judge Reinhold.
Yeah.
He kind of played the in this movie. His role was more like the fourth guy from the Hangover movie. You know,
the one that's stuck on the roof.
Yeah, the one that's not in the movie, so he never really became famous.
Like they give him an important part all off screen.
Yeah.
Judge Reinhold, he's so great. Why would they do that?
He was good in it too.
He's so good.
He's good.
So
Everyone's good. Bronson Pinchot. I mean, they brought back Surge.
Was he okay?
It was just great. It's not, it's not a big deal. They didn't make too much of it, but it was like it was perfect. And then it was really fun. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say other than I enjoyed watching it, which is let's just call things what they are these days. If you can get through a movie and just say I enjoyed it and had a good time,
right?
It's a win. It's a win.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything is not Citizen Kane.
Right.
I don't. I didn't. So I recommend this movie.
This has been a string of, in my opinion, really fun action-y type movies that have been coming out. That I say with the Fall Guy, Roadhouse, Godzilla and Kong. All these just like the really fun. Just go in and have a good time and don't.
You can watch on your sofa, like.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's something to be said for that.
But there's because I have like every other mainstream movie just seems to suck lately. But I'm watching a lot of indie stuff, and that keeps me good, so I can have the mindless stuff too. So give me the mindless fun.
So you liked Roadhouse?
Yeah,
it was. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm
such a huge fan. I'm such a huge fan of Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse. I've seen it 100 times.
It's an interesting take on it.
I'm scared to watch it.
No, I think you'll like it. It's fun.
I like it. Okay.
Jake's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm watching Presumed Innocent right now. So
is that good?
I don't know.
I gotta check that out.
So so it's good, and I can't wait for the next episode to come out. My problem is I saw the movie, so I already know the ending, and I'm watching it with my friend who has never seen the movie and doesn't know the ending, and I'm just like, can we just get to the ending already? Like, I already know the ending. Are they going to change the ending? Maybe they're going to change the ending. That would be weird. It's based on a book written by blah, blah, blah. And so it's got to be the same ending. But yeah, it is good. If you don't, it's okay because I already know the ending. But when you watch a movie like this or you watch a show like that, you don't know the ending. It is fascinating. But I already know the ending because I know the story. And it's such a great story.
Wasn't this a Harrison Ford movie too?
Yes, it was I saw it in the theater, and I just remember like
I think I remember reading the book. I think
you could have read the book. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, wow.
This was so with
you are so sophisticated.
I am. Well, I think it was one of those books you read at the time. It was cool to read that book, right?
No, I didn't read the book. I went to the movie theater and I saw the Harrison Ford movie.
Holly Gennaro is the wife in the original.
Holly Gennaro. Is that her legal name now?
No, that's her name in Die Hard.
That's her name in Die Hard. Yes. So, it is. I would highly. I mean, we're not talking about that tonight, but it's Jake Gyllenhaal, and I'm not a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal's, but I'm gonna have to watch Roadhouse.
You definitely should be a fan of Jake Gyllenhaal, just for the record.
He's like the unfunny
I don't
Ryan
know why
Gosling.
I'm not.
He's the unfun Ryan Gosling.
He is perfect in everything.
That's interesting that you say that. Zach.
Yeah, and I will say that until I die.
I think he's
perfect in
he is really
everything.
good. He's a
I
good
think
actor.
we found ourselves a Jake Gyllenhaal fan.
Oh my god, I drool
I'm
for
gonna have to think
Gyllenhaal.
hard. Is it Brokeback Mountain?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay.
The Ambulance, the Michael Bay movie, loved it.
The Ambulance?
Nightcrawler, one of the coolest movies ever made, loved it. Even his Mysterio, loved it. I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
You might change my mind.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal like I like Air.
All right.
I love Air.
Okay.
We love Air. All right.
On that note,
we should
we
all
might have
watch.
to have a Jake Gyllenhaal episode.
We could have a
He's
presumed
so
innocent episode, and then
we should.
that should be good. Has anyone seen Dark Matter?
I haven't watched it yet.
I heard that's supposed to be really good.
It looks good.
Fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
All right. Well, you know what else was fine? This episode is fine. Going down in the record book.
I got sound.
You have a lot of things to watch.
A lot of good things came out of this. Mick, remind us of the Scene Snob awesomeness and your YouTube channel.
Yeah, we are the Scene Snobs. Go check us out. We love movies, and we know you do too. So come join the Snob Nation. Come hang out with us. Go subscribe to the channel or follow us on Patreon. That's where you get our newsletter, links, stuff like that, and more.
And more. Zach.
Honestly, it doesn't matter what I do. Whatever. Go to Scene Snobs and go check that out. Subscribe to Scene Snobs. It's better content than anything that I could possibly make. So help out Mick. It's better than me.
No, Zack Wiseman supporter here. And you better
all right, Marcy.
Check me out here. I'm on Crossing the Streams with you guys.
Almost
You
late.
can find me. Oh my! Listen, I made it. Maybe 2 minutes late.
No, you were good. You're good. And then check out Classic Conversations, cool interviews. Dan Bacadal is my interview this week. You've likely seen him in a million things. He was in Legit, Life in Pieces, Dinner with the Family, Veep. If you see him, you'll be like, "Oh, I know this guy. He's hilarious." He was in The Daily Show. It's a fun interview. Really good.
Hey, Jeff, what was that one video you just put out not that long ago? I remember looking at the thumbnail and be like, this is a really good thumbnail. Was it Burt Ward? Was that what it is?
I've been trying to make better thumbnails.
Yeah, the one I caught as I was scrolling through it, I'm like, oh, let me watch this. I'm like, oh shit, this is Jeff's. That's great. This is a great thumbnail. Good job.
For the Dan Bacadal one.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I looked at it, I was like, this is nice
he's
thumbnail.
in a show called Life in Pieces, right? That with Colin Hanks and stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So you make the picture and then you kind of blur out the background so you can see stuff, but he pops. And I wrote Life in Pieces, but I put a question mark. For no reason. I just took the name of his TV show and put a question mark. So then it became this is a show I must watch. I must learn more of this. Yeah. It's just like so.
No, it caught me. It worked.
So awesome. All right, everybody. Yo show. Thanks for showing up.
So fun.
As we are coming to an end. All right. Let me see what else we got here. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Are we still on here?
We are on.
Oh.
We are. But hang on.